Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. Now I'm starting on the actual regular Commodore 64 screen because the game that I'm reviewing doesn't have a title screen or anything. It just starts straight away as soon as it loads. So I thought I'd get the intro out of the way. Well, before running it anyway. Star one. Right, so we'll load the game up. Now I've already reviewed the Amiga version of this game, and I was a big fan of it back in the day, and still am a big fan of it. I still play it fairly often, not as often as I did, but yeah, still play it a fair bit. But I had completely forgotten about the fact that there was a Commodore 64 version, which is a bit ridiculous because not all that long ago I saw videos of the Spectrum version running, and the Spectrum version was absolutely horrific. That said, well, the Commodore 64 version I do feel is a bit of a letdown. Anyway, let's get the game underway. No surprise, seeing as you've already seen it in the title. It's Captain Blood. Now, even though this game is fairly early from the Amiga's lifespan, it did always strike me as being the sort of game that needed a 16-bit computer. So let's just take a look there. Right, so there's nothing on the surface, so I know the surface is somewhat safe. Now, if you need to know how to play the game, I recommend checking out my review of the Amiga version. What I'm really doing in the case of this video is just comparing how well the Commodore 64 version stacks up to the Amiga version, which I played a hell of a lot back in the day. So let's head to the surface. Oh dear. There's no getting away from it. It just does not look very good. So I'm trying to get us lined up with the yeah, we are lined up with the canyon. I'm going flat out, not that you can tell because it's completely silent. There we are at the end, so the approach is much shorter. And here we are then, so it's Yoko the small Iswal, howdy. Yeah, there you go, so it's me, small Yoko. Planet is Bao, and gives us the coordinates. He likes peace. He's small Iswal, I think it is Iswal, yeah. Small Yoko fears ship. Small Yoko wants no identity. So I've got exactly the same start here as I did on the Amiga version, which doesn't help as far as showing some variety, but it does at least give a better comparison between this version and mine. So now I can reply, and if I remember right, I say me Blood. Yeah. So, howdy Blood. Small Yoko, friend of peace. And there we go, starts talking about his old man. So it's Pop, I think that's Pop Good. Yeah, then laugh, then 3 sobs. Ship great, me small. Pop sob. And I think, yeah, so well, let's ask him then about his pop. So so pop put it in the form of a question. Pop, laugh, laugh. Right, that's Maxon, is it? Yeah, Maxon is, yeah, father of Yoko. This is a bit different. So, me want rendezvous, female, you know. Okay. Pop, great scientist prisoner. Yeah. Genetic, is that? Oh, bad warrior prisoner. Pop. Okay, so yeah, he's being held by. There you go. You free Pop blood. You blood, you great warrior. Yes. Okay. Yes. You great. Oh. Pop. Okay. I need to know the planet, so no, I need either identity or location. No. This is, yeah, trying to find the actual, oh hang on, this is right, identity, planet, I'll keep on referring to him as his father rather than actually refer to him as Maxon. So identity me Iswal small friend. Well, that's not really telling me. Oh, there we go. Pop not give identity me. Alright. Planets want peace. Pop great scientist prisoner again. So bad warrior prisoner Pop. So it's telling us again all of this. Max on identity Pop. Yeah. Bao Bao is Yoko planet. You free hot blood. Right, yeah. Here we go. Right, so me, no, planet, Crudis Olf, dead genetic. Dead genetic, great friend Pop. Dead genetic, great warrior crazy. Pop help, dead genetic. Pop give reproduction. Identity of planet dead genetic is trap 4. Trap 4 great planet, great missile, danger. Yeah, I know about that. Right, here we go. Coordinates 3454, and unlike my Amiga review, this time I'll write the coordinates down correctly so I don't end up going to the wrong fucking place. So now it's telling me not to go to planet trap 4. Now so right, me, where's help? There it is. Help you. Okay. Me go. Right. He wants. Okay, me want help you. No, me, not go. Oh, okay. Alright, so I'll say bye to him. There you go, he says the same. Except the screen has right, yeah, gone back. So, right, we'll go to the galaxy map. That doesn't look too shabby, actually. Right, so we want to go to 34, 54. Oh, great, so it's, I can move the yeah. Oh, fuck it, hell. Setting the coordinates is a fucking pain in the arse because I'm not using the mouse. So 34. $34.54. Right, there we go. Right, let's go. And here we are then. So this is planet Trap 4 and Dead Genetic is the Krulif Olv on the surface. Or at least it should be. Let's take a look. Yeah, the missile system's there. Right. Okay, so let's get the review underway then. Graphics, okay. It doesn't matter how, you know, optimistic you are, you know that the graphics are never going to be as good as the Amiga version. And to be fair, the graphics are as good as they could be. This part is really not very good, but again, I suppose it's a case of doing what they can. The missile system is not very good at getting a lock, that's for sure. I'm not sorry about that though. There we go. The Krulif Olv warrior doesn't look too good. Hang on a minute. You small warrior, you not destroy planet. Well, I've only just got here. Hang on. Me not like you. Curse insult. You small by curse insult. So that, well, there you go. So now I'm fucked. I can't fucking do anything. Let's try going back to how do you? Okay, it looks like it may have started again. Yeah, here we go. Me Krulif Olv Dead Genetic. The planet is Trap 4, yes I know all this. Me Great Warrior. Yeah, so although the graphics are as good as they could be, the graphics on the Krulif Olv Warrior here in particular are pretty dreadful, I have to say. The graphics on the Iswal alien was pretty good on you know, old Yoko. But yeah, Krulif Olv is not so good. Unfortunately, I can't play the game long enough to show any other creatures. The you know, communications part here works just as well as it does on the Amiga version. Unfortunately, of course, because you're not using a mouse and you're having to use a joystick, it does make it rather more awkward to choose the particular word, and also makes it a bit more awkward, you know, trying to set the coordinates as I showed. But I mean, for the most part anyway, graphically it's about as good as you could realistically have hoped for. Audio is a different matter. The game for the vast majority is completely silent. What sound effects there are very, very basic. That sound effect was far less basic. But yeah, the sound effects really don't do anything at all. They're unimpressive to say the least. And the gameplay, well, I mean, alright, the bottom line is it does play every bit like the Amiga version. But the atmosphere is sorely lacking, largely because, well, there's the lack of the speech from whenever you select any of the commands. The various vocal effects of each of the alien races is not there. They all sound exactly the same, and they don't sound remotely sort of organic. They all sound like, well, they sound like what they are, computer produced sort of like bleeps. So the audio is awful. But I mean, it does play like Captain Blood, so I suppose back in the day, if you didn't have a 16-bit computer but you did want to play Captain Blood, then I mean the 64 version is certainly playable, just that it has this issue with you know, lack of mouse controls, so having to use the joystick is not a very satisfying way of doing it, but really it was the only option available to them. So I mean, I've seen far worse conversions of Amiga games when they have been ported to 8-bit systems. Pteropods instantly springs to mind, although in the case of Pteropods the game was mediocre at best anyway. But at the same time I have seen much better, including one that I will be doing at a later date in my reviews. So I will give Commodore 64 version of Captain Blood 6 out of 10. To be honest, there's no reason to try this. If you want to try the game, which I highly recommend, then, you know, go with the Amiga version. But yeah, don't worry about this one too much. It may have served its purpose back in the day, but now, when you're going to be using emulators, there's no reason to be playing this when you could be playing the Amiga version. So that's the one to definitely try. So there you go, that is Captain Blood for Commodore 64. A reasonable stab of a game that is perhaps a little over ambitious for a Commodore 64, but nevertheless they've done it. It could have been far worse, but it just doesn't compare to the Amiga version. So that brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.